What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me as always is little brother Jayce. Bro Shot, how are you today?
Good. How are you, lad?
Good. I thought you were going to go full World Cup and go good.
Well, we only got one, but we still got to 16. That's cool.
There you go. Sweet 16. Speaking of things sweet, did you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
I did not. I kind of forgot there was anything on after Andor, and I was very much like, oh, what do I watch on Disney Plus for the next couple days? I don't know. What else is on YouTube?
So
So
you gotta
I
watch
did watch
Guardians.
I did watch Lyle's Figure Files, so that was cool.
Thank you. But the Guardians holiday special is good. It's funny. It's like 44 minutes. They do like an old school with a little animation thrown in there, some live action. Uh, they somehow make the Kevin Bacon role, because it's not like a cameo, supporting role work. And the Guardians are just a fun crew. And if there's any downside to James Gunn moving over to DC, it's that we're not going to get this interpretation of the Guardians much longer after volume 3.
But the funny thing is this, I think all of these Marvel movies have basically bowed out after a trilogy. And yes, I am leaving the Thor Love and Thunder is yeah, you should have bowed out after 3. So James Gunn getting to wrap up his vision of Guardians in 3 movies, I think is the right way to do that. And because I just don't want to, I don't want to see Guardians go downhill. Like I really enjoyed all of them. So the 2 movies, I don't want to see them go to a 4th and be like, this is the cash grab. Let's go.
Let's see, it's interesting because like Black Panther, I feel like we've seen the Guardians in more than just 2 movies because of their involvement in Infinity War and Endgame. So it feels like they've been around and had a larger presence. But yeah, I am with you on that. And I was able to do something that I really enjoy every year when I can, go into the local drive-in theater and got to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever on the big screen outside. It's such a unique experience, and I really love going out there and seeing it. But I got to see, as usual, it's a double feature at the very least. Sometimes they have a triple feature. Catch them on the right weekend, they're playing 4 movies over the course of that night, which is amazing.
Yeah, sorry. I think when we did that, what was it? One for Endgame. I know Infinity Wars. That was a woo. That was a test right there, but it was fun.
Well, we only saw 3 because they played Black Panther after Infinity War. Now, had they done that order right and done Black Panther and then Infinity War, I would have been coming home like I was in Vegas somewhere, coming back home when the sun was out, saying, you should be in bed by now. Chief, what is up, sir?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Chilling. We're doing well. I can almost not see you
Almost not see me?
because of the camo.
Oh, you're a funny guy.
Thank you.
You're a
Work
funny
hard on
guy.
my material. I got a team of writers to help me.
Yeah. Hey, look how he's being funny again. Yeah. You can't hear him, but they're laughing.
Oh, I believe you. Most people laugh when they hear my jokes. So we were talking about Guardians holiday special, Black Panther on the big screen, but the movie that was before Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, was Strange World. And this is Disney's latest animation film, and it was very interesting. At one point in the movie, some of the characters are playing this card game, and the kid is trying to explain to the older character how the rules are. And the old guy goes, "What? This game doesn't have a villain? That sounds like a terrible story." And I was thinking the same thing about the movie, because it's like It's funny. I always like those things that acknowledge the problem in the movie. Like, oh, well, it would just be so hokey for us to do this. And then they do it as if them acknowledging it somehow makes it better. Like, we're going to cut off your complaint by actually saying it on screen. It's still a problem, made even worse by the fact that you're saying it's a problem. But wink, wink, it's okay because we've acknowledged it already. And it was it felt like this was the lazy time of year for the creators of this movie. They came up with some random characters. It's basically this eco-friendly deal where, hey, we got to protect and love the environment, even though the landfills are just filled with our recyclables anyway. And the characters largely felt like they were created for stuffed animals and cake toppings and toys, not to tell a good story.
I was gonna say like Disney. I mean, based on how much money Disney, I think they said that they're like.
I'll break it down for you. So this movie was budgeted for $180 million, and over Thanksgiving weekend, where they should have seen the money just coming through, like going Scrooge McDuck style, diving into the pool of coins, it made 18.6 million. It's not good, Jim.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you. I mean, like when you try and do $180 million budget on something that even. I mean, like because like even Frozen, like or Wreck-It Ralph, like all of those movies, like they don't have those giant budgets before the sequel. The sequel can get extra money because oh yeah, you're printing money. But when you do those kind of experimental, that's almost one you try. Let's see how that one works. Right before school starts, that August release, and then we'll put the second one for Christmas. I mean, the Thanksgiving holiday. We try and that giant budget because I'm sure a lot of the budget was spent on the actors that they got to do the voices.
Well, the cast was Jake Gyllenhaal, Gabrielle Union, Dennis Quaid, Lucy Liu. I don't know if Jake Gyllenhaal's commanding 20 million to do his voice performance. Gabrielle Union's probably not demanding 30 million. So I don't know. I feel like they should have been a heavy toll on that budget. It's probably more the marketing and not getting Happy Meal toys at McDonald's, which are still promoting Black Panther Wakanda Forever figurines, and toys.
But I mean, technically speaking, you should be working against two different audiences. Like one is the family under 10, 12 audience, and other ones of like as we say a PG-13. Everybody, please come to our movie. Like, because I mean, it's like that. Strange World is probably not getting an adult audience of like people without kids. It's just didn't look like a draw. Like, oh, that looks like fun. Like it's. I mean, it's hard getting like adults without kids to a lot of Disney animation. So you're like, oh, this is a good movie. You'll enjoy it, but it's not that opening weekend surge.
There are several Disney movies that I've seen that I wanted to see, and Coco is a great example. That was the one we saw before Solo and Infinity War at the drive-in. Love Coco. That was great.
But did you see it? But did you want to see it before everyone told you it was good?
I mean, it's a Disney movie that looked good. So yeah, I wanted to see Encanto. So I don't care. I mean, I want to see good Disney movies. Strange World was not one of those. So we've got some more news on DC. Warner Brothers is very close to closing a deal with Amazon to develop new DC animated content. Thoughts?
Okay. I'm great with that. I love going to Amazon and seeing. That's where I saw the I don't know the name of it. I know you will. Where the Reverse Flash got shot in the back of his head by Batman. Shot in his head by Batman, and then he had the Suicide Squad trying to get him to get out of hell. Card.
I kind of like that, but I liked it until they killed off one of my boys. So,
well, I'm just saying, like, I like that type of content on Amazon. That's where I saw the movie at. I believe it was on Amazon, and a lot of my DC. There's a few on there right now that I'm going to go see. One just came out with and I can't think I got it on my waiting list to watch it. I just haven't cleared a block of time to go see it. But there's one on there right now that I'm gonna go see. And I agree with that. There should be more DC shows, animation on on the Amazon platform. I enjoy the Amazon's platform. I'm waiting for the second season of Invisible Man.
Yes, sir.
Invincible, yeah.
Invincible, yeah. So I have no problem with that. I'm finally glad DC is finally stepping into the arena, and you know what I mean, bringing his big boy pants.
Jayce, what do you think?
I would like to see more like DC. I mean, like all DC properties, they just need to kind of figure out. And I think it sounds like James Gunn and his partner, they seem like, all right, we're not going to do all these scattershot 1,000 universe versions of DC. It's like you can have like the Legion of Superheroes if you want to do something a little far out and do stuff, but use just use the source material and you can make a lot of good stuff. I mean, DC for just in their universe, like the graphic novels are what you make a lot of your good animation from. That's I mean, animation is like graphic novels, just they go hand in hand. Like you make your 90-minute or 2-parters if you got to do like Batman, Dark Knight Returns. You do stuff like that on animation, let it go. It's a win. So them actually saying, hey, we want to do that with somebody dedicated to doing it, perfect.
I would love for these DC animation projects to be tighter adaptations of comic books. I feel like sometimes with these Warner Brother animated movies, they start off with a framework and then they go rogue midway through. And I'm like, why are you doing this? You don't need to change up the story. The story was great. I don't need to be surprised. I feel like when they adapt books into movies, they don't go, and then a twist because everyone who read the book knows what's going to happen. We decided to do this instead. I'm no expert, but did they do that a lot in Harry Potter, bro?
I know they did it a lot in Walking Dead. The death of Carl. I know Carl. Carl.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you want to see people get out of the films. I mean, like I'm still one of people like I'm mad at the stuff they cut out of the Harry Potter movies that would have made them better. Like all after 5, it's like seriously, did you forget to put the story in? Like, but you can't do that. Like I was messing with you on Hush, and like I like Hush because I didn't see the story. You and Gunner were like, this is garbage. Like you guys can't do anything.
It's not so much that it was garbage. It was more Hush's. Have you read it yet? Suck. All right. Hush's story in the comics is not this big bombshell. It's like, okay, clearly, yeah, that makes sense. But it doesn't matter because the story is so fun. It plays out really well. There's one big major twist to it. It's like, oh my gosh, it changes everything. But it doesn't matter because the story works so well that even though you see it coming, it's like, who cares? And too often with these animation movies, they go, all right, we're just going to throw everything off. So you're going to be totally shocked and surprised, and you're not going to see it coming. And I love the Long Halloween, but they did that with that as well. I feel like in the case of that movie, they altered it in a way. It's like, okay, I'll go along with you on that. But the real payoff of the story is so good, you don't need to mess with it. And I just want them to not do that going forward.
I mean, like, because I was going to go with another example was what is it? The Daniel Brown movies. Gosh, I can't. Da Vinci Code. Like, there is a scene in there that's spelled out like at the end of the movie, spelled out like, in case you didn't know, here's the bad guy. It's like you could have delayed it like 20 more minutes. It would have been much more meaningful.
I know you're gonna love this bit of news because you love all the spinoffs and all the good stuff and all the entanglements. Nah, Jada's myth style entanglements, but
Mm.
Marvel character entanglements. Due to licensing issues with Universal, we are not going to get a Namor spin-off solo movie. So what that means is he's going to be in the same boat as Hulk, where he can show up in whatever else they want to do. But we're not going to get Namor, the Submariner movie, coming in 2025.
I'm okay with that. I don't know if I wanted a Namor movie. So there seems to be, I feel like there's a lot of other characters they could be developing other than Namor, even before you get to that. And I know that they probably could have worked something out because they do with Universal work things out where Universal gets a piece of this, so they get a piece of that to make the movie. To be honest with you, I'm not even
Universal's
sure.
not interested in it.
Yeah, maybe not, but I mean, money is always a factor with anything. But I don't think anybody was interested in a Namor movie. I don't know
I
if anybody.
was. I was.
Were you?
I was. I
Why?
like Namor. He's a
Yeah, he was
cool
cool,
character. He
but
can
I
go
don't
either
know if he was.
direction. He can be a
I don't know
hero
if he
or
was.
villain.
I don't know if he was cool as a movie on his own character. I thought he was cool like in that movie, but I don't know if I could. I don't know if I wanted to watch a whole movie of Namor.
I got you. Okay. All right. Well, what I think they could still do, and hopefully they put it back on the table, even though they already wasted the name, they would just acquire it and act like it didn't happen, because we're doing that apparently with the Netflix characters. Do a Defenders movie. We already got Doctor Strange, got Namor, we got Hulk. Just throw in Silver Surfer, Valkyrie, if you will. I mean, they could throw Valkyrie in. We already introduced her too. So we could make a Defenders movie with those characters and have some fun, have them go against some heavy hitter villain, maybe Dormammu, and go nuts.
Again, all those people you named, I still. Doesn't Universal own Venom?
No, that's Sony.
That's Sony. Okay, who owns? So Sony owns Venom. Who owns the X-Men? Sony too.
No, that was Fox. So everybody in the Spider-Man umbrella is tied up with Sony. And Sony's like, hey, we're smart. We understand money's good. So Marvel Studios, you want to do something with Spider-Man? No problem. We'll take a little money. We'll wet our beat on this. And we'll be just fine. Universal
Nickelback gets
like,
sold in the park.
Right. Universal's like, yeah, no, we'll just let you keep using these I think it's more of a loophole, not even like a partnership with Universal, because Universal apparently isn't interested in doing a Hulk standalone movie, a Namor standalone movie, or anybody else within that umbrella that they can just hey, tell you what, we'll distribute the movie. Marvel Studios, you just make it good, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Hulk movie at once upon a time. I don't dig Smart Hulk as much as I did Crazy Basham Hulk.
He can't be Smart Hulk in a Defenders movie. That wouldn't work.
So I don't I don't dig.
Out.
Yeah, I don't dig Smart Hulk. So right now where the Hulk is at, I'm not in. It doesn't make for a great. Doesn't have me rushing to the movie to see it. I need Angry Hulk. So
okay,
yeah, I'm there with that Hulk thing. I mean, and I think they just kind of they stretched it out too long. It's stretched out too long. When they stretch a movie out too long, Avatar. Where that you don't want to go see it anymore, or you're just not that interested in Avatar. So you're just not gonna go and I'm cool with the Hulk not coming to life at this point. I wanted to see a Hulk movie 5 years ago.
At the very least,
2023, I'm cool.
In stuff. Avatar hadn't been around forever. And these
Yeah,
trailers that I'm watching of Avatar, The Way of Water, are not exciting me.
like paint drying on the wall, baby.
I mean, but they may get your 3D TVs back. So
Yeah, if he does that, I'll go watch it twice. Just
You know what,
because.
man?
I just buy the tickets twice and leave.
I sold my 3D TV, man. I remember when 3D TV, man, you thought it was going to be a real big thing. I had bought the glasses. The glasses were like $30. Pressed the little button, and and then nothing really came out of it.
Dude, I have a lot of 3D movies. I watch them quite often.
Do
Except my
you?
TV. Oh yeah, my TV has some unfortunate line pattern going through it, but I watch 3D all the time on it. Love them.
Look, man, it's time for you to go ahead and get a new one. The Black Friday sales are out still.
They don't even make them.
What, the 3D
Trust
TV?
me,
You mean?
I would have bought a new 3D TV if they were still available. But they're not.
It's funny.
Unless you know a guy.
I was watching football the other day, and I got Fios. And at the bottom of when I switched to the channel, at the bottom it said this telecast is playing in 4K. And so I hit the button and 4K came up, and I got to thinking, I said, they're pushing 8K and they haven't even done 4K yet. Nothing's in 4K and they're pushing 8K. So, and I'm saying that to say, they didn't do 3D all the way and then they let it go. 4K, they haven't done all the way. Now they're letting it go. And they just got you, the consumer, hopping to the new product constantly that they don't even push. They don't even push. Like, how the hell we're not in? Everything should be in 4K now. Everything.
I absolutely haven't gotten a PlayStation 5, haven't gotten a 4K TV. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't even care. I just want more of the stuff that I already had to come out. And yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna give you no trouble, man.
I won't accept it.
Yeah, I know you won't.
All right. So here's something interesting. I thought. So Nate Moore, he was one of the producers of Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever and Civil War and Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And he said when Marvel Studios looks for writers to adapt storylines or whatever, he says they actually don't like writers who are hardcore comic fans. That's actually a red flag for him. So he says in this interview, one thing I think is interesting, and specifically for writers, I would say a lot of times we pitch writers who love Marvel. And to me, that's always a red flag because I go, oh, I don't want you to already have a pre-existing idea of what it is because you grew up with issue 15 and that's what you want to recreate. I want somebody who's hard on the material, who goes, what is this? I think there's a movie here, but maybe we should be looking at it in this way. The best example of that for me was Marcus and McFeely, who weren't comic guys coming up, but were like, wait, Captain America? This seems a little bit weird. What if we kind of looked at it this way? And they weren't married to anything. Nothing was, there was nothing so important. I think that's important to be able to go, look, the source material is great. I love it. Comics work in this medium. They were built in, but that's not a direct one-to-one translation to the best version of the movie. And sometimes it takes someone who's out of this culture to go, hey, I know you think it should be this, but maybe it should be this other thing. It sounds like a very DC statement to me, which is interesting. But it's worked, I'd argue, up until phase 4 for Marvel, because I feel like they've definitely brought in writers who were like, who cares about this tradition of characters like Moon Knight, She-Hulk,
The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also I feel like the new phase, it's like almost like they got too cute. Like they're trying to fit in. Nothing has been as good as the originals. The original characters that they put out. Everything has been kind of, in a sense, just kind of. And I'm trying to think of something that really jumps off the page. We had Moon Knight, that it was okay. You already know how I feel about She-Hulk. What the joint that was pretty good was Scarlet Witch one, but that was still from phase one. Who else did we have that came out that they did a show with?
Shang-Chi.
Um,
Are you talking about shows? Hawkeye.
yeah, on Disney. I'm just talking about this because we're talking about this phase. Most of the phases showed up on Disney.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, that was
yeah, that was, but that was again phase one guys. I'm saying this next set of these new characters haven't hit as hard for me. Like, and what I'm saying is, like, I can, if they never make another Moon Knight, I'm okay. If they make another She-Hulk, I'm okay.
If they make another She-Hulk, I'm not there.
Right.
I mean, if they don't do Moon Knight, it's like, I'm good.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But you want to see another, the new Captain America and the Soldier, right? So you want to see another episode. But I'm saying that's that phase one still. Like, everything in phase one still hitting. The rest of the phases haven't.
Actually, Chief, they were phase 2 characters.
Who?
Falcons are phase 2.
I just don't think it just hasn't hit. I think, and like I said, I think they've gotten too cute. They've gotten too let's please the crowd.
Yeah. I feel like they've gone too hard with these people who don't care about comic books. And right. Just like, let me come in here and shake everything up. I feel like that's not the direction you want to go when you've already established.
Right.
Marcus and McFeely did a great job taking comic book material and adapting it to the big screen, but they're really the exception to the rule. They're not, oh yeah, everybody's as good as them. I think a lot of phase 4 has been, they haven't been as good as what's come before them. And these writers are just kind of, oh yeah, I want to do a legal talk show. I want to do a legal show. I don't know how to write a legal show. I don't know what we're going to make this show. Let's just make it about She-Hulk's horny. And okay, well, thanks. That was helpful. And that's what we got. So anyway.
She's horny and she hates men. But
the writer segment. Let's it's that special time here. Jayce, are you ready to amaze us with your nominee for Dummy of the Week?
I'm gonna go back. If this isn't this week, is last week, but my Dummy of the Week is Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, you took mine. Wow. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, like for him basically saying, hey, Marvel movies, these guys aren't real actors. People just go to see the characters. Captain America, they don't even care about Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth. They just want to see who the new Marvel character is. They don't really, they don't need to see Robert Downey Jr. They just go to see Iron Man. It's like, just listening to that, it's like, your logic just like, and I think Simu Lee, basically when he called him out, like, dude, if it was your Hollywood, I would never start in the 400 movie. So thanks, Marvel, for actually making actually diverse cast and actually selling diverse stories. And, nobody wants to sit through your boring montage of Charles Manson murdering people thinking that's the best movie you've ever made, which I'm pretty sure most would think that is not the case. He hasn't actually gotten better since Kill Bill. But yeah, like him thinking
I mean, you didn't even mention that what Samuel L. Jackson said.
Oh, I didn't see what Samuel. Take it from there.
Sam said it takes an actor to be those particular characters. And the sign of movie stardom has always been what? Butts in seats. He didn't say butts. What are we talking about? That's not a big controversy for me to know that apparently these actors are movie stars. Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther. You can't refute that. And he's a movie star. Absolutely.
And I don't know why he would even say that, knowing that Samuel L. Jackson was supposed to be one of his guys.
He might be one of his guys, but he should know this. Sam won't be like, Sam will actually come.
You know what I mean? Like, but you don't necessarily crap on the movie that your man is in. You know what I mean? Even if you don't like him, it is what it is. I mean, I think that they are feeling the pinch on their wallets because they come out with these same type movies and people aren't flocking to them. They see the numbers that a Marvel movie makes, and then they see the numbers that their movie makes. And I believe, honestly, it's a little jealousy in there. They're
You're
they're
saying they
upset.
turn a little gamma green?
Yeah.
Always
Quentin
say that.
Tarantino, man, he had a good run. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the people want something different. You know what I mean? How many times can you put out a movie where they just say the N-word? Just, you know what I mean? Uh,
About
like
one hateful eight time too many.
right. So, like I said, hate the Hateful Eight. You got Django. You got just all those movies, Jackie, all of them. They're all kind of. He has a certain style. Like when you're watching a movie, you can look at that movie and be like, "Oh, this is a Tarantino movie." Even if you didn't see the movie, you know what I mean? See how the movie came. You're like, "Oh yeah, this is him." And I think that after 30 years, 35 years, somewhere in there in the game, your movies they don't surprise anyone anymore. I think that's the same thing that what's his M. Night Shyamalan, or I don't even know that dude. I think that's what he's suffering from. Because when you go see one of his movies, you always expect a twist at the end, and sometimes the twist is just it's not even a twist. It's a half subtle turn.
I think sometimes he just needs to ease
You
up,
know what I mean?
to shake people up. The twist is
Yeah.
there was no twist.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so I think that and I'm not saying he hasn't said anything, and I'm not saying that his movies aren't, okay, but at the same time, people want the diversity that Marvel gives them in the different characters, and then how these different characters all intertwine in this same universe. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing the way it all comes together. And people want to see that. People want to put their butts in the seats of an action movie with their favorite superhero.
Absolutely.
Period, point blank.
All right, well, fellas, thank you as always for rolling. Thank you all for watching and listening. This episode of Loud's Movie Files has been filed.